Hello and welcome back to the Venue Cymru quiz. This is the time for the answers. So if you've got your piece of paper ready, we can look at the answers to yesterday's question. First one on pantomime was, what pantomime has demon vanity leading the dame into the pool of beauty? And the answer to that is Mother Goose. That's Mother Goose. Next question, Pulcinello, our character from Commedia dell'arte. What name would you call Pulcinello today? And I did give you a clue. I said you might see him along the seafront. His name, of course, is Mr. Punch, as in Punch and Judy. He originally started as Pulcinello. Third question, who wrote Peter Pan? That's J.M. Barrie. If you want to say it's James Matthew Barrie, but J.M. Barrie. Next question, what is the traditional name of the dame in Aladdin? It is, of course, Widow Twankey. Widow Twankey and her laundry. And our final question on pantomime was, which pantomime features Blunderbore? And traditionally, that's the giant in Jack and the Beanstalk. His name is the giant Blunderbore. So I hope you got those okay. Moving on to music hall and variety. Who was the music hall singer who was told to follow the van but dilly-dallied on the way? Well, it was the queen of music hall. It was Marie Lloyd. And out of my collection here from the archives of itsbehindyu.com, there's Marie Lloyd in pantomime. Now, still on the subject of music hall, we've got Little Blank. Little Blank, you had to fill in the blank, is the name of a musical comedian and a dancer famous for his big boots. And his name was Little Titch. Little Titch was the star. Which city in the UK was The Good Old Days filmed by the BBC? Well, that was Leeds, and it was the City Varieties Theatre. City Variety Leeds, I think it still is actually the longest running programme on the BBC. Another variety question, who was the cheeky chappie? Well, the cheeky chappie was Max Miller. And here's again an autograph of Max Miller and a photograph of him in Brighton there, Max Miller. And our final variety question is, what was the name of the man who brought his Pierrots to Llandudno and later presented the Follies at the Arcadia Theatre? And I gave you a clue. I said you could think about this while you're sitting in the cafe at Venue Cymru, which is named after him. It's Will Catlin. And here's a lovely souvenir I bought this Christmas at one of the fairs in Venue Cymru. And it's the tram with Catlin's Follies on the side of it. Right, hope you did well on that round. Now, musicals round. The Hollywood actress June Havoc had a famous stripper for a sister. What was her name? And her name was Gypsy Rose Lee. And just here again from my archive collection, we've got one of the actual costumes worn by Gypsy Rose Lee. There she is in the middle. And of course they created the musical Gypsy after her, which featured her and her sister, Baby June, who became the Hollywood actress June Havoc. Now, if you were getting married in the morning, what musical would you be in? You'd be in My Fair Lady. So that's our My Fair Lady is the answer to that one. Twang. Twang was a flop musical by Lionel Bart, who wrote Oliver. It's the story of which fictional character? Twang, Robin Hood. So that's Robin Hood is the answer to that. What musical had the song The Night They Invented Champagne? And that's Gigi. Film and a musical. And our last musical question, which was all about the worst pies in London. And that musical is Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street. But if you put Mrs. Lovett, that would be allowable as well, because of course Mrs. Lovett baked the cakes for Sweeney Todd. So there we go. So that's our musical question. And now finally we're on to theatre. What is the name of the fairy queen in Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream? It is Titania. She is the queen of the fairies, Titania. What is the name of Agatha Christie's Miss Marple? Her first name. It's Jane. Jane Marple. Here's another piece from our archive here. That's Agatha Christie's autograph in one of her very lurid looking novels here. And incidentally, today's cameraman Andrew Ryan appeared in The Mousetrap in London for over a year. So there's a strong Agatha Christie connection. There we are. Thank you, Andrew. And now over to Noel Coward. He went to Portmeirion and he wrote one of his successful comedies. That comedy was Blythe Spirit. Blythe Spirit was written at Portmeirion. Now, what is the name of the oldest working cinema in the United Kingdom? Well, it's just up the road. It's Theatre Colwyn. And here we've got a picture of our recent visit. There's Andrew and myself with the Panto Roadshow and our lovely crew. There's AD and Co at Theatre Colwyn. Now, our final question, the very final question, was the seating capacity of Venue Cymru's auditorium, the place where you go to see the pantomime, and that is 1,500. It seats 1,500. I hope you did well with the quiz. It was great fun doing it. I hope you had fun answering it. So until we meet again, be safe and take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.